Jones or McLean either, with Deriqua, Watmore, Bennett, Asgard and Fletcher coming in for them. From a Luton point of view, obviously Rob Edwards is fairly new in the job, but he still harbours ambitions of getting into that championship playoff area. No Carlton Morris for them due to a calf injury. They've also dropped Ruddock, Lockyer and Potts, replaced by Woodrow, Reece Burke, Louis Watson and Gabriel Osho. The original game 9 or 10 days ago ended 1-1. The man who scored the equaliser for Luton in that one, Harry Cornick, is on the bench tonight, and I wonder if we'll see him at some point. But 4 minutes on the clock. Luton had the best chance so far, but it remains Wigan 0, Luton 0.
3 minutes gone at the New Lawn in the FA Cup. Forest Green 0, Birmingham 0. We'll be back to Molineux soon as is possible, technically speaking, because of the power cut that's just hit the press box at the get-go of Wolves against Liverpool in that FA Cup replay. But these two teams playing for the first time, because of waterlogged pitch here at the New Lawn 10 days ago put paid to the original tie. So they're getting to go at each other for the first time. And Bailey Cargill wants a Bournemouth Swinton from West Ham back in the side tonight. One of 5 changes made by John Eustace, 6 made tonight by Ian Birchnell for the home side. One of them is Matty Stevens, playing his first start for Forest Green since April of last year. Free kick won by Brandon Cooper, recent arrival at Forest Green, squares the early free kick left for Bailey Cargill, goes into midfield. They're trying to work it forward, but Hannibal wins it back for Birmingham, and Jordan on the right-hand side of the 5-man Birmingham midfield. Longfellow in a bit of space just over the halfway line. 0-0 between Birmingham. Wolves, Liverpool also problem up after his move from Burnley, and it's the same back three that Birmingham had for when they were beaten quite soundly at Bristol City at the weekend. 5 minutes gone on TalkSport in the FA Cup. Forest Green 0, Birmingham 0. Wolves Liverpool also 0-0. We will be back there, I promise, very shortly. They're just about to get underway as well in the next few minutes at the Hawthorns. West Brom against Chesterfield. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Forward come Forest Green, headed away by the edge of the area by Long. Breaks in the edge of the area for Ben Stevenson. Dion Sanderson gets a foot in for Birmingham and clears it away, but Don Bernard strong with a header on halfway, and now Corey O'Keefe moves in from the right flank, floats the ball into the box. It's dangerous and put behind by Kevin Long for the first corner kick of the game, which has gone the way of Forest Green. Don Bernard did really well on halfway to keep the ball away from 2 Birmingham shirts, worked it to Corey O'Keefe on the right-hand side, and his swirling cross had to be put behind. So Forest Green will have a corner away to our right-hand side. The Birmingham City fans, about 700 of them in the open end, opposite to our commentary position, and it will be Kyle McAllister to take the corner kick for Forest Green. Forest Green in their lurid green tiger stripe kit, Birmingham in all blue shirts and shorts with white socks. McAllister with a left-footed delivery to come. Etheridge waits on his line. It's actually played short to the right-hand corner of the box, and O'Keefe, who gives it back to McAllister, works the angle, swings it in from the right-hand corner of the box. It's headed over the bar for another corner kick. It came for Birmingham head last of all, says our referee Sam Allison. So in these early stages, Forest Green ask a few questions of the side from a division above. Birmingham went out of the FA Cup last year to Plymouth Argyle at this stage of the competition. And then another short corner to O'Keefe, right-hand corner of the box. He works it infield to Ben Stevenson, goes further across. Chance for a shot maybe. It's a brilliant goal! Oh, what a goal, Ben Stevenson! Got the ball onto his right foot, 25 yards out, and curled it into the postage stamp past Neil Etheridge. 7 minutes gone, and the League One side lead. Ben Stevenson with a magic right foot shot that had Neil Etheridge beaten all ends up. They were pressuring from 2 corners, and Ben Stevenson has got the League One side ahead, and the shock is on in the FA Cup. Beautiful hit. Get back to Molineux because they've managed to reconnect. So as we leave here with Forest Green leading by goal to nil, back to Sam Matterface and Matt Murray.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, welcome back to Molineux, where it is Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 0 in the FA Cup third round replay here. Liverpool coming forward down the left-hand side. We were interrupted in our broadcast because of a huge power surge inside Molineux just minutes after kick-off. It took all the lights out in the stadium. Everybody's broadcast equipment went off, the ones that were being powered by the stadium. I don't know what happened on the television. Even the VAR set is now being reset down in front of us as a result of that. We lost power for at least sort of 5 minutes or so. I don't know how long we've been playing in the game now. I was using my phone to broadcast on Twitter during the course of that delay. 9 minutes and 55 seconds. I mean, for 8 minutes we had no power as a result of that. And in the meantime, not much has happened, but it did sort of disorientate everyone inside the stadium, I think.
Oh, it was crazy, and the referee, though, he got the game on again quickly. I thought Wolves started really well, got the ball out to Dharma Traore a good few times. He put some dangerous crosses in, header just wide from Raul Jimenez. Liverpool have been selective with when they press, but I think they've upped their tempo and got after Wolves a little bit more and won the ball back. One little heart in mouth moment for Jose Sarr when he spilled that cross but recovered. But all in all, it's sometimes when there've been so many changes from sides, you can expect it to be a little bit of a slow tempo, but it's good as well. I can see why Martino asked me before on Twitter. So many youngsters in as well. Then Martino's there as well, just to help the likes of Dexter and Hodge and just see them through it. But crowd are in good voice as well, so good atmosphere.
You're listening to TalkSport. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 0, and the ball is out on the halfway line. And it's a Liverpool throw, which is going to be taken by Kostas Tsimikas. Jurgen Klopp is standing there in his technical area, all in black with a big black jacket on and a huge hat on tonight to keep himself warm. It's freezing temperatures here in the Black Country, and the ball is tossed down the touchline by Tsimikas into the feet of Cody Gakpo, who's trying to manipulate his way past Nathan Collins. The big, tall Irishman pokes it clear, but only as far as Keita, who's 10 yards outside the box. Dead centre is Elliott, who clips it into the air. Fabio Carvalho runs towards the touchline, doesn't quite get hold of it, tries to steer it back in field. Cody Gakpo then tries to square it, gives it away cheaply, and then Martino, who's escaping, looks to be fouled by Thiago. Andre Mariner, who is the referee, has allowed play on. Ball slips to the edge of the area by Milner, interrupted by Neves. Neves then pounces and gets the ball forward up into the midway point of the Wolves half, and then it's helped on down the left for Aït-Nouri from Jimenez, and he's charging through into the area. He gets on his right foot, tries to strike, hits the back of the defender. There's claims for handball. They're looking at the referee, who shakes his head. Yulan Lopetegui is claiming the same on the touchline.
Well, sure, hopefully the VAR is back up and running and they can look at it and even things up. But good break from Wolves, good block in the end.
Yeah, well, that's Liverpool's Achilles heel, isn't it? Getting broken online like that. We mentioned it earlier. Here's Elliott in towards the edge of the area. He shoots over the top of the goalkeeper from 20 yards. And Jose Sarr lost the flight of the ball, and it stuck over his head and into the net. And Harvey Elliott runs over towards those Liverpool supporters who are in the bottom tier of the stand opposite us, who are going balmy because they've got in front inside a quarter of an hour away at Molineux. Liverpool lead. Harvey Elliott with his 4th goal of the season.
Wow, crazy. Liverpool Wolves on the break, and then Wolves got recounted, and then Liverpool straight down the other end. And it's interesting to see because I've been a big fan of Jose Sarr, but he's quite high off his line. But just the trajectory of the ball, I don't know if it took a little nick the way it sort of seemed to loop over. And I'm just looking at Lopetegui now. He's saying you need to look and check the Aït-Nouri shot that was blocked. There's a handball there. Maybe they wanted a penalty. I don't think they're going to get it. Wasn't a clear obvious mistake. But yeah, it's just crazy. Suddenly the game came to life, got stretched. But I'd just like to see it back because it wasn't right in the corner. It sort of went over Jose Sarr, and but it looked like maybe took a little nick. But I remember doing a game here when Liverpool youth played. Harvey Elliott scored a wonder goal at that end from a volley in a Champions League sort of youth game. But great finish from the young man. Game on, and a really, really good goal for Liverpool.
Last goal was in the Champions League against Ajax, and he's put Liverpool in tonight at Molineux with a super finish. A really good goal from into the penalty area. An opportunist strike from the edge of the box, which went over the top of Jose Sarr and into the net. 14 minutes played, Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. The first game between these two was keenly fought, despite a number of changes from both teams. Wolves largely outplayed them, in all honesty, but they feel hard done by the result at Anfield after having their winner incorrectly ruled out. And another a VAR call, Julian Lopetegui has gone against his team.
Yeah, he wants to handball, but he's still got to be, keep it tight at the back, play on. But I still want to see it because I just didn't see right how that went in. It wasn't right in the corner. It was a long way out. I think Jose Sar's a bit hard of his line, but I just don't know if it's.
Tsimikas coming full down the left-hand side, running at Lembakisa. He's played it on towards the left edge of the area. Back in field it goes. It's collected now by Fabio Carvalho, then Thiago. Thiago wide to Tsimikas once again. Traore coming back to help defend. Lembakisa getting stuck in on Tsimikas. Keita keeping it moving in midfield. Bajcetic out towards the far side. Collected now by Milner. And Liverpool keeping possession, ticking over at a rapid pace. It's a lot more intense from Liverpool than we've seen in recent performances, even though it's a much changed team. They've made 8 changes tonight, Liverpool, from the side that were by Brighton. It was a dreadful performance on Saturday. And even Jurgen Klopp himself suggesting that it was the worst performance that he'd ever been involved in as a manager. And they have failed to win their last 3 matches across all competitions. They've got a huge game on Saturday against Chelsea.
Yeah, a massive game in there. That run of form is why Wolves would have wanted to start it so well if they could have got the first goal, because even though you say it's a lot of changes, it's still the same lads in the squad, and it would have goals just hurt you if you go behind. But now it's the Liverpool fans in voice, but they'll be looking to build on this.
Elliott skirting down the right touchline. So it goes to Thiago, then Cody Gakpo is just short as it wide to the left. Carvalho out wide to Tsimikas, who blasts the ball towards goal. And he manages to almost get that on target from a tight angle. It just goes narrowly over the top of the crossbar, but I think he should have scored.
He's got to hit the target, and in that position, so as a goalkeeper, you just want to get in line and stand. Tsimikas, with his ability and that sweet left foot, and the way the ball was just laid into him, to say, go on, hit me first time, I think he's got the ability to get over that, kiss the grass hard and low, hit the floor, he scored, makes it a lot more difficult, but he's got underneath it and sails over the bar, so minimum he should be working Jose Sarr from there. Very, very good chance for Liverpool to double their lead.
Wolves 0, Liverpool 1 on a interrupted TalkSport broadcast tonight, live from Molineux, where we've had a complete power outage for a few minutes here at Molineux, in which all of the power sockets up here in the press box went out. We were I think one of our boxes got short-circuited, which is why we had a little bit of a delay and interruption in our coverage. Apologies for that, but thank you very much for lending us your ears. We've got lots going on elsewhere. Ian Danton was looking after you rather nicely from Forest Green against Birmingham. Ball is on the edge of the Wolves penalty area, having already conceded once tonight. Playing it wide out to the left, Totti towards the touchline. Johnny Otto manages to pick it up, travels infield, plays a reverse ball into the path of Brian Aït-Nouri, and James Milner steps in front of him and clears away. James Milner back in the team, making his first appearance of 2023 after a little injury. He's nearly been at Liverpool for 8 years now. All given away cheaply by Liverpool to Adama Traore, which escaped past Tsimikas and brings him down rather cruelly. That's going to be a free kick. Julian Lopetegui is screaming at the assistant on this near side, the 4th official, because he wants I think that's Craig Pawson down there. It's not listed on the team sheet tonight, but I think that's Craig Pawson who's telling him, please don't ask for a yellow card in that manner. He did thrust his hand into the air and wave an imaginary yellow.
It's such a cynical foul, and Traore would have been away, and then imagine being on a yellow against Traore in the evening, so it was borderline.
Ball played down the right from the free kick by João Moutinho into Adama Traore. Back to João Moutinho. He's got room to get across in here, or do just that towards the far post. Aït-Nouri was offside, I think, when he went to head the ball. It wasn't a great header anyway, went over the bar. And it's going to be a free kick for Liverpool. Queven Kelleher is going to take it. Wolves behind already after 13 minutes. Harvey Elliott with the goal. Liverpool, though, I'm sure will give them encouragement at some point. They've conceded 6 goals and lost both of their last 2 away trips. 9th in the Premier League. I mentioned it earlier, I thought the FA Cup may be their best route into Europe next season. Certainly the way things are going. Both Chelsea and Liverpool, who play each other on Saturday, 9th and 10th in the Premier League. Ludicrous, really, when you think about their form over the last 10-15 years, that they'll be playing off in that sort of scenario on Saturday lunchtime live on TalkSport. All out of play on this near touchline. You're listening to the FA Cup 19 minutes gone. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 1 in the replay. The right to play Brighton on the agenda. Ball thrown down the right side by Lembakisa, the Jamaican, the young 19-year-old. Sent into the path of Raul Jimenez, who's getting better and better and better as he gets up to full fitness, and he's causing a few problems for the defenders once again. He was a real thorn in the side of Liverpool in the first. Here is Hodge, who's been a real tenacious acquisition, coming through the ranks and being pushed in during the first few weeks of the Lopetegui reign. Young man who was signed from Manchester City's youth system.
Yeah, good player, Joe Hodge. Very good pro, top pro, uses the ball well. Steve Davis trusted him, gave him some chances, and he's taken that opportunity, and I think he impressed on that little mini break over in Spain. So credit him keeping his shirt and staying in the side.
Kisa is asking Raul Jimenez to make more movement for him as he throws the ball in from the right side, that gives it away cheaply to Thiago. Carvalho tries to escape. It was an aggressive pullback by Kisa. He's going to get a free kick as a result.
No complaints there, and again it'll be a good battle, young players against each other. You know, Lembakisa again, another one, academy graduate, saw him get opportunities against Arsenal, played a few times again in the cup competitions, but it'll be a good battle against young Carvalho, Dexter and Carvalho. Looking forward to seeing it.
I think producer Declan asked Wolverhampton Wanderers what happened that power surge, and the response was, I think there's a power cut, floodlights running on backup. Cracking. Ball out of play on this near side. Liverpool attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. There was an interruption in play, but since then Liverpool have been pretty fluid. They've got the opening goal of the game, and they lead by a goal to nil. And that's a bit dangerous for Wolverhampton Wanderers, bearing in mind they don't score too many goals, only 12 in the Premier League so far this season.
Yeah, but it's just crazy because they started to get the game well, I felt, and then a good chance for Nouri. He was on his own, so he had to get the shot off. Wolves appealing for handball, and then just to concede in that manner, it just didn't look right, but they still kept pushing on.
Here come Liverpool again, and there's a foul there on the edge of the penalty area. Neves looking a little bit guilty. And Fabio Carvalho gives the thumbs up to Andre Mariner. Slightly unnecessary for Wolves to give the ball away and then commit a foul.
Yeah, they got caught playing out in the back, and they want it, and this is what Lopetegui wants the team to do. He wants them to build from the back. They've got to be comfortable with handling the ball, and Ruben Neves is probably one of the best ball players in this Wolves team, but he just took his eye off it. Ball went under his foot. Carvalho, clever play, nips in, he brings him down, and this is a real dangerous sort of range, because his players, like, it's very difficult for a goalkeeper. You've got to try and protect your side, you set your wall up, but you know players can get it up and down from this range. So 3 players over the ball again. Who will be taking it? But a needless foul to give away, and Jose Sarr looks quite concerned lining this wall up.
Thiago, Kostas Tsimikas and James Milner standing over it. Last goal was against Leicester a few years ago from the penalty spot. James Milner, it's left to Thiago, scoops it forward towards Canate. It's a bit of a waste of a free kick. Back in from Milner, flicked on towards Carvalho, away by Collins, who hooked it from the edge of the 6-yard box. Collected by Canate. Offside flag has already gone up. It's going to be a free kick on the left edge of the 6-yard box away to our left-hand side. You know, you mentioned it. It was a great opportunity, a brilliant place to have a free kick, and they didn't make the most of that at all, Liverpool.
Yeah, very strange. I thought maybe it's going to be one of those ones they knock it and Milner goes on and drives it, but it was obviously a decoy, dinked it in, and sort of, chance of wasted. From that range, it's just over 25 yards, and just...
Start to his Liverpool career, because he's played 3 games, he's played 2 of them out of position. Played more on the left because he had Nunez through. But in the second half, they interchanged the positions, didn't they, when he went central? They gave them that variety and that option, whereas now, because of the personnel, He'd be better off just holding them up, biding his time of playing the deliver the ball in with the heights in this full side.
ช่วงนี้เสือขึ้นมาเจอกับดันหนึ่งว่าก่อน
Back to right side of a back three. Aït-Nouri's gone to left wing back. Dexter there is a right wing back, and a very strange free kick to give away there by Dexter Lembakisa, who thought the ball was going to bounce over him, but he's still on the pitch and he handled it.
So the Wolverhampton Wanderers now have got Lembakisa at right wing back, Aït-Nouri at left wing back, and Johnny almost playing as a right-sided centre half with Collins and Totti.
Yeah, and he does that before change, but not that early in the game to change the system. So back five.
Jimenez running through the centre, getting towards the midway point of the Liverpool half. He's brought down by Naby Keita, and what they can't understand is why they haven't got a yellow card here. And Julian Lopetegui is getting right in the ear of the fourth official, and Jurgen Klopp has come across, and he's had a few words with him as well. They're pointing at each other, they're screaming at each other, they're shouting at each other. Klopp's been forced back into his technical area. One or two of the others on the bench getting involved too, but Lopetegui is absolutely furious about the fact that a yellow card wasn't given for a second cynical foul.
Two big boys as well.
Get in the middle of that, Craig Pawson. Here is Neves playing it square, where it's picked up now by Johnny, infield to Hodge, who clips it over towards the far side, taken down and then sent into the middle by Aït-Nouri, is headed away by Canate, and then picked up by Fabio Carvalho, runs up towards the halfway line, ties on the near touchline. The ball is with Tsimikas deep inside his own half. Liverpool trying to build their way out of trouble here, haven't managed to do so, and they've turned it over Wolves, and Traore's got it midway inside opposition territory. Tsimikas has committed another foul. Lopetegui hasn't asked for a yellow card this time. How many times is he going to commit a foul before the referee takes action?
Exactly, it's persistent fouling, and they've all been on the edge. That one wasn't on an isolated incident. That's not a bad foul, but there's been other ones, and I just think that, as like I said, if you only just over, you're not even half an hour in, and you know as a fullback, you've got Adama Traore running at you time after time with more than an hour to play. That's not easy when you're on a yellow card. So these are important moments for me.
Yeah. Wolverhampton Wanderers fans giving a bit of stick to their Liverpool-based compatriots. Free kick to be taken on this near side, though. Wolverhampton Wanderers trying to create something from the right side of the attack. Is going to be Martinho, takes it right-footed deep towards the penalty spot, headed away by Thiago. Comes out to Neves, who hits it on the volley 30 yards out, straight into the body of Joe Gomez. It flicks away towards the near touchline. Aït-Nouri recycles it back to Johnny. Johnny looks up, plays it across the halfway line to Lembakisa, and then Neves dropping into that back three, sends it high and up towards the right side of Martinho, and Jimenez backs into Thiago, wins the ball, helps it on. Martinho back round the corner, in towards Jimenez once again. There's no one waiting in the centre for the cross, and it's cleared away by a rather lonely looking James Milner inside the 18-yard box, and he manages to clear it away out to Harvey Elliott, who puts it out on the far side. A spicy first 27.5 minutes in this cup tie. A replay after a 2-2 draw up at Anfield. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport.
Yeah, really good tempo. I felt that Wolves started well, then Liverpool had got back into the game and obviously got the goal. Were pressing higher, good tempo, changed the system for Wolves, which has actually brought them a bit of joy. And Traore's right up there with Raul Jimenez. Fans are in good voice. Say really good tempo, enjoying it too. Two teams working hard, and yes, there's the changes, but the passion that's shown on this pitch from the dugouts, the fans, both teams do want to progress in this round. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, Wolverhampton Wanderers went out of the League Cup, didn't they, recently, and they weren't happy about that. They don't want to go out of the FA Cup that quick. Lembakisa is on starters' orders and gone down the right-hand side. He's latched onto a decent ball from Neves out towards his right-hand side, trying to play it infield to Adama Traore. Hit Tsimikas and goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area. 29 goal, TalkSport. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. Liverpool's goal coming from Harvey Elliott, his fourth goal of the season. Here's Adama Traore pressing and pushing up against Gomez, whose clearance was blocked, but it's fallen nicely for Thiago up into midfield, and Harvey Elliott then goes wide out to the right. Milner takes on Aït-Nouri, tries to beat him for pace, goes on the outside, doesn't do a bad job, then goes down. looking for a foul, wins a foul, the flag goes up on the far side, and more frustration for Wolverhampton Wanderers and their fans who feel as if Liverpool gaming the system earlier.
Yeah, I think he did really, really well there, James Milner, because I didn't know he still had that in his legs to go and run young Aït-Nouri like that. Really good play, won the free kick now in a dangerous area to whip it in. I think they'll feel they wasted the last set piece, but now they've got an in-swinger and an out, left foot and right foot over the ball. Wolves want to hold the line. Some good big players there for Liverpool as well, so dangerous opportunity.
Milner, older or younger than you?
A little bit younger.
A little bit. Here's Milner towards the far post from the free kick. Jose Sarr has missed that punch. It's gone back in from Gomez. He's missed a second punch as well. It's come to Gomez again, who tries a little Cruyff turn inside the area. Probably should have gone down because he got clipped from behind. The ball drops inside the box. He's still not. No one's taking charge, and eventually it falls to Fabio Carvalho, but the whistle's gone for a foul inside the box, and it is going to be a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. But there was a moment there when Joe Gomez tried a little Cruyff turn, then Makisa was coming from the wrong side. He could have gone down.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact. It did seem to wobble him a little, but he's very honest, stayed on his feet. Definitely given the referee, Andre Mariner, a decision to make. Again, it's a little bit of a nervy moment for Jose Sarr coming to try and punch it, mix it with his defender. But you asking me about Milner, I remember playing against a young Milner when I was coming back from yet another injury. He was playing in the Leeds side, and I thought, you can tell then, top player, him, Carson, people like that who came through that Leeds system.
Yeah, it's a long time ago since he was a Leeds United player though now.
Yeah, all right, I'm old.
Ball headed away down the right side in towards Harvey Elliott for Liverpool, who lead here by goal to nil. He produces a cross into the box, which is blocked by Totti. Goes out. That's the far side, recollected by Milner, the captain for the night. Back in field to Stefan Bajcic, and then on to Elliott, who takes it tight to the touchline, gets it back off Milner, weaves his way to the edge of the box. Cody Gakpo with a strike from just inside the area, right side, difficult angle, and it's a yard over the top of the crossbar as he goes right across the face of goal and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. So Liverpool are in front by a goal to nil away at Molineux tonight, and Jurgen Klopp was quizzed about the reasons for Liverpool's poor form, and lots of theories have been asserted as to why they've been so poor so far this season. He dismissed the notion that the players are no longer listening to his key messaging, but he did say they weren't winning tackles, they weren't winning challenges often enough, but they're certainly a little bit better at it tonight as Jose Sarr gets another ball played back to him short inside the 6-yard box, and he spoons it out for a corner under pressure from Cody Gakpo.
Wow, well, one of the things that have been questioned is Liverpool's press not being right at the moment, and Brighton picking it apart too easily. Well, I'll tell you what, tonight, even though Wolves have changed the system, these Liverpool lads are pressing with intensity, purpose, intelligence, and they're winning the ball back. And that was again a very, very difficult moment for Jose Sarr. He ended up passing it out for a corner.
He's had a couple of those so far in this game. He's a very good goalkeeper, very popular goalkeeper after his exploits last year. He hasn't been as effective this campaign, but still, you would expect better than that. As the ball comes into the penalty area, it's bounced off the legs of Johnny, almost fell loose for Thiago, but was cleared away out to the right wing position, up to Keita from Hodge, and Liverpool keeping it inside the Wolves half and keeping them pretty much pinned inside their final third at the moment. Tsimikas back to halfway. He gets crunched by Adama Traore. The ball goes up into the air. Then Tsimikas complains he's hurt his ankle. The ball is almost won back by Wolves, but Joe Gomez tosses it over the top, and Cody Gakpo is now chasing in behind. The flag has stayed down. He's cut in field. He's got it onto his right foot. He has ballooned it, and that is going to land about 6 yards from the right corner flag.
Yeah, just about a goal kick. I wondered which side it was going to end up. Tackle there, tasty one from Traore on Tsimikas, but I think Tsimikas is fine. I think Liverpool, they're not set back, have they? They've got after it.
It's quite frantic, isn't it?
Yeah, they're looking to get that second goal. They're pressing well, and I thought that chance before from Gakpo, again, a player of his quality, at least should be hitting the target or getting closer for me. And Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, I think, will be delighted all in all with his team's performance so far.
The score is Wolves 0, Liverpool 1 in the FA Cup live on Talk Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus, please drink responsibly. In the National League, Altrincham 1, Maidenhead 1, Aldershot leads Solihull by a goal to 0. Simicas into Isotich, who's trying to swing that round the corner for Fabio Carvalho, but he got his angles wrong and his power too, and it flicks out in front of Jurgen Klopp and away for a throw into Wolverhampton Wanderers inside their own territory. We've played 34 minutes and it has whizzed by. I mean, partly because the first 10 minutes we were sitting around doing Twitter stuff because we couldn't broadcast because there was a power cut, but we're all back on now, which is good news. There's only 11 minutes to go before half-time, live on TalkSport. A little bit later on tonight, you'll be able to have your say on this game and all the other games, including Forest Green Birmingham, which third round game, a first running of that match because the initial game was called off. Swansea, Bristol City, Wigan, Luton, and West Brom, Chesterfield, which got underway at 8 o'clock tonight. And you'll be able to have your say straight after this on the Sports Bar, 03717 2233 and 44. And the guys back on breakfast from 6 o'clock tomorrow, analysing this game and all the others. Here's Carvalho playing in by Cater into the area, right footing, goes past the goal, tips it under Jose Sarr, the offside flag goes up. He always looked or so beyond the last defender.
Yeah, I was relaxed with that one. I mean, imagine they'll still check it, but it did look well offside, and you can tell just the way the players were as well. Ball's holding that high line, ball slipped through, good finish, but yeah, they're not really complaining, and yeah, definitely offside.
Yeah, it was definitely offside. Goal disallowed, free kick given, and Wolves get things back underway again. Those old gold shirts with black shorts and old gold socks. They're attacking the goal away to our right in this first half. There's a Jack Hayward stand away to our right. One tiered, almost cop-like stand, which is jam-packed with people wearing their big padded jackets, huge wool scarves, and knitted hats tonight. We've all got hats on tonight. Oh no, I haven't got a hat on, have I? I just got a lot of hair.
Yeah, okay, all right, you got a bit of hair. I'm very envious.
There's so much of it. I haven't had it cut for so long. I actually felt like I had a hat on. Ball played infield towards Thiago. He sends it square up towards Simicas, who's on the edge of the area left side. Across into the box, which almost gets through towards Elliott, who just peeled away from Ryan Aït-Nouri, and it's flicked away by Aït-Nouri and out for a throw-in over on the far side. The Algerian, who played 26 minutes off the bench in the weekend, got into a really good opportunity, a good position early on in the game when he ended up one-on-one with Kelleher but couldn't find the finish. That's probably Wolves' best chance of the game, and that seems a long time ago now.
Yeah, it is. I think Liverpool have taken a hold of this. Wolves are struggling to build at all, have any sustained any control possession, struggling to get out of their own half really and link up. Raul Jimenez seems a pretty isolated figure, and Lopetegui again, I don't know if he'll change system again, try and go back to a back four, but they're in pretty good control of this game, and Kelleher has hardly been worked at all.
Milner into Gakpo, new signing in the January transfer window from PSV Eindhoven. He did score 13 goals for PSV this season. Them were early in the campaign. He did have a bit of a dry spell prior to going to the World Cup and starring in that tournament. He was one of the breakout stars, the young breakout stars, only 23 years of age. He's leading the line for Liverpool again tonight. The ball is out on the far side. Elliott for Liverpool, midway inside Wolves' half. Back into the centre it goes. Thiago turning from an offside position inside the box, tries to net from inside the area. He actually sent it wide, but the offside flag was up straight away anyway. Aldershot doubled their lead in a matter of minutes against Solihull in the National League, and they lead by 2-0 against Solihull. And here it's 1-0 to Liverpool away at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tomorrow night we've got Premier League action for you. Live football, Crystal Palace against Manchester United, key Premier League match. Jim Ratcliffe entering the formal process to buy Manchester United today. I'm sure Simon Jordan will have something to say on that between 10 and 1 tomorrow. Lembakisa wins the ball on the right-hand side, but he just doesn't have the control to continue his run down this right touchline. And as he gets to the midpoint of the Liverpool half, he just loses control of the ball, skips off his toes and goes straight out of play.
Yeah, it was the first time Wolves sort of got into the Liverpool half, but then, yeah, an unforced error.
Jimenez wins it back again. This time it is deep inside Liverpool territory. Wide on the right, Lembakisa goes back to halfway. Fans wanted them to continue to thrust forward. They didn't do that. Lopetegui has just told him to go back and not get too excited, Lembakisa, on this near touchline. And Martinho is conducting again from the centre of the pitch. On the halfway line, Collins finds Lembakisa. First time ball down the right side, looking for Jimenez. Jimenez trying to get the better of Tsimikas, who kicks it out for a throw-in on this near side. And it goes out for a Wolverhampton Wanderers ball. There's been a goal at the Hawthorns. Here's Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 1, Chesterfield 0. It's been scored by John Swift. Really good finish. Played in the league at the weekend. Most of the players here played in the first match. Not all regulars, but fine goal from Swift, and West Brom lead Chesterfield 1-0.
Terrific, by the way, the game between the two a couple of weeks ago, or is it 10 days ago now? West Brom Derby and Chesterfield finished 3-3. It was terrific entertainment. Here is Neves down the right, with terrific entertainment. Here is Traore, beats the offside track, gets into the area, right-footed shot, caught it brilliantly, but didn't get it on target, steers it narrowly wide of the left-hand upright. He went powering through like a 100-metre sprinter. He got the better of Gomez and Tsimikas, found himself at a 45-degree angle for the goal, and he went towards the near post, Matt Murray. Should he have gone across the goalkeeper?
Well, sometimes players now, they like to try and roof it and hope that the goalkeeper drops and try and get in that top corner. I think Kelleher does very well because he stays back and he stands and says, I call that transfer in the pressure. Go on then, you beat me. I'm not going to rush you. I'm not going to make your mind up. If you can hit the corners, I'll give it you. And he's got to try to go high. I think, yes, go across him, because then if he does get a touch to goalkeeper, Aït-Nouri would have been tapping it in. But a good chance for Wolves. And I think they've gone back to a back four again now, Wolves.
Matt Murray, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper who played in an FA Cup quarter-final for Wolverhampton Wanderers 20 years ago. There's not many people that have played in those.
A long time ago. My first ever years here as well as a full-time player, we got to the semi-finals, and I wasn't involved on that, but I was involved in the early rounds, and we lost to Arsenal. Christopher Ray scored past Hans Sagers at Villa Park, so a few decent cup runs while I was involved at Wolves.
Gosh, you are old, aren't you?
Very old.
You're joking. He knows I'm a lot older than him. 5 minutes to go before half-time. Wolves coming down the left with Aït-Nouri, skipping towards the edge of the area. Aït-Nouri continuing to go. He's travelled a long way here before Konate stands like a brick wall in front of him and says, you ain't going any further, fella. And the ball flicks out to the far side and goes out for a Wolves throw. Martinho takes it on. Wolves just getting a little bit more of a foothold in the game now after a period where Liverpool completely dominated this FA Cup third round replay. They were on the front foot, they got the goal, and then since then they took charge. But here come Wolves again down the left with Aït-Nouri, who is offside over on the far side. Just didn't time his run particularly well. Then Milner left a little bit on him. Would have been a free kick if it stayed onside initially, but he didn't. And it's out of play over on the far side. It's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, the visitors, who are 3.5 minutes away from a half-time lead.
Yeah, and I think Wolves changing back to the system of a back four, a 4-3-3. They're playing with a lot more width. Aït-Nouri will be disappointed there, because when you can see along the line, you shouldn't be offside like that. So good line from Liverpool, but I think the change back to a back four has allowed Wolves to have a bit more possession, get up the pitch, not be pressed as high. But all in all, I think Jurgen Klopp will definitely not only be ahead, but just the manner of the game will be the happier of the two managers for sure.
So Johnny, who was playing as a right centre half, is now back on the other side of the pitch, playing as a left back.
Yeah.
He's had a dizzying first 42 minutes, hasn't he?
Because he's
Adama Traore brings down Tsimikas, and it's his first real foul, actually, Adama Traore. He gets a yellow card for that. Now, if you've been following the game with us, you'll know that Kostas Tsimikas has committed 1 or 2 other challenges, and there's been a few cynical ones that haven't yielded yellow cards for Liverpool players. Julian Lopetegui, who hasn't been shy coming forward to the fourth official, is absolutely furious. Can you understand why?
You can, and Ruben Neves is pointing as well to the referee, going, well, what about all those Liverpool fouls, and like pointing his finger around the pitch. And in isolation, probably Tsimikas' fouls shouldn't be a yellow, but when you've made that many and then Traore makes the first one, he'll be saying, hang on a minute, this isn't fair. And I think there's probably a little bit of hangover as well from the first leg of the VAR goal. Wolves feel things a bit unjust, but just the inconsistency, sure.
Neves felt like he was fouled in midfield. The ball goes back towards Totti and he sees it to the goalkeeper via Collins. It goes upfield. There's a flick by Thiago. Jimenez holds it on really well, and then Traore tries to get past a combination of Carvalho, Thiago and Tsimikas and finds Hodge, who then retreats into a sort of right fullback position before lofting it forward. Gomez allows it to bounce across his body, and then we'll restart play once again from deep inside the Liverpool half. They lead by a goal to nil, Liverpool. The goal coming after just 13 minutes. Harvey Elliott with his 4th goal of the season, a shot which appeared to take some sort of deflection, or it's certainly outfoxed Jose Sa, who's usually a very good goalkeeper, and he's a very big goalkeeper as well, to be fair. It went over his head. It seemed to look a bit strange, didn't it?
Because it wasn't right in the corner, and it wasn't, just the way where it hit the net. I think Jose Sa was a bit high, but it just, the way it sort of went over, it made me think the trajectory, something didn't look quite right.
We would say we'd seen a replay of it, but we can't, because all the monitors have died since the power cut.
Yeah, I do want to see it back, but I think a goalkeeper of his quality shouldn't be getting beaten from there with a strike like that. That's just, my opinion.
A minute to go. It's unlike you to be critical of goalkeepers.
I'm a big fan of him, and I think he's brilliant, and the saves he makes, and it just, I do think when he was that far down the line, maybe 5-6 yards, and just to beat him there, it just didn't look right, and that's why I think he took the nick. But I just think it was more, it caught him out a little in the transition.
He certainly wasn't set, was he?
No, he wasn't in a good position, and and he wasn't right in the corner. It was only midway up the net, so it was a strange one.
I think a lot of people were expecting Wolves to start with Maria Sarkic today, the Montenegro goalkeeper, born in Grimsby, but he might well end up trying to find a new home if he doesn't get any more game time during the course of this season, which would be unlikely now if Wolves were to go out of this competition, which at half-time looks like it might be the most likely outcome, bearing in mind the paucity of their goal scoring over the course of the season. And they trail by a goal to nil with 2 minutes added at the end of the first half here at Molyneux. Ball tossed in by Hodge and then played back to Nathan Collins, across to Neves. They're inside their own half here as they build the play and try to get something back before the break. The ball switched up towards the tall, slender figure of the Mexican Jimenez, and then won by João Moutinho, pings it out to Traore, who's hugging the touchline, moves down towards the corner flag, sets it back for Lembakisa, and then it's on to Hodge, and then square infield to Nathan Collins. They keep circulating the ball here, but they need to get it forward. Totti takes a stride forward towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Otto with a cross hits the back of Milner and goes out of play over on the far side and away for a throw-in.
Better from Wolves.
Definitely better from Wolverhampton Wanderers as we approach the 2nd minute of 2 added at the end of the first 45. It's with Elliott, who's won it back in the right full-back position, and then Milner plays it against the Mexican Jimenez, goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. We mentioned that Jimenez has had a sort of upturn in performances. He looked more like his old self. The goals, though, are the all-important thing, aren't they? Getting them flowing is going to be really, really, really important for Wolves.
If he can get back to the player he was, it will feel like a new signing. And obviously Costa's come in, and he's, again, he missed a lot of football. It just feels that Wolves don't really have that goal scorer now, that real, that fox in the box, if you like. And Jimenez brings a bit of everything, but he needs to be scoring still, getting into double figures. But he's been quite lonely tonight. He's not had much service. It was interesting when Traore got the ball, how hard Carvalho worked to double up with Gomez and stop him, but been difficult chances for Wolves.
To Elliott after again the Wolves have just given the ball away inside their own half, and Totti has to use his body to stop Cody Gakpo from winning it inside the 18-yard box. And Wolves have just lost one of their last 7 matches recently, and they have looked more composed and confident under the new management, but there have been a few issues tonight, giving the ball away on the edge of the area and in and around it. And Liverpool, who know that they are in the Champions League but realistically realise that this is their best chance of silverware, will be buoyed by what was a much more intense, aggressive and assertive first half performance. They lead at the break thanks to Harvey Elliott's 13-minute goal, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have got to come from behind if they're going to stay in the FA Cup. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 1.
Sam, thanks very much. Elsewhere, Forest Green are 1 up on Birmingham. That one not a replay. These are Swansea 0, Bristol City 0 at half-time, Wigan 0, Luton 0, West Bromley, Chesterfield 1-0, 8 o'clock kick-off that, and here it's Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. Let's take a look at the half-time highlights with Carly.
FA Cup half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carly, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Well, Matt Murray, I'd love to talk about the inconsistency of the refereeing, but I'm not going to. Let's talk about the Liverpool goal, because Harvey Elliott has scored it from range. You've questioned it, you've now seen it again. So, should the keeper have saved it?
I think what Jose Sa has done, he's had time to recover, but he's so high, and I'm just watching him there, and he hasn't even taken a nick. But go and get in position. Yes, it's a counter-attack. He's he's driving, but what he does is he gets to only about 7 yards. He's about 7 yards out. So when Jose Sa is, so when the shot comes in, he's gone right into the, midway up the goal, and he's got to save it. It's because of his position. Where he's starting, then no, he can't save it, but he's still running back as the ball struck. But I just don't know why he's not got into position. He's had time to readjust and get there.
When you go back to the first start of the move, Kelleher has the ball at his feet in his own 6-yard area. It goes to Carvalho and Simicast, play it out from a left-back position. Harvey Elliott picks it up in his own half and then runs and then shoots. He's got plenty of time to get back.
Exactly. Sometimes you might have come for a cross and punched it or be caught out of position a bit. But I don't know what he's expecting either, because you'd think from there he is only going to shoot. It's not like there's other runners, as you say. He's carried the ball long way, and then on the moment of impact he's not set, so then he ends up diving backwards into his goal. He can't actually dive forward and make the save, and I think a goalkeeper of his experience, of his quality, he should be doing better. So I'll say I'm a big fan of him. I think he's brilliant. I don't like hammering goalkeepers, but that's a goalkeeping error for me.
Yeah, you can call that. You have the experience and knowledge to call that, so we'll take your word for it. It's not top Finn's postage stamp or anything like that. He should keep it out. That was all thanks to Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
FA Cup half-time highlights on Talk Sport with Charlie, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
You know what, I'd like to think that the early power failure was because Jeff Beck decided to give it one last blast on the guitar, cranked it up to 11, launched into hi-ho silver lining, and blew every fuse at this Molineux Stadium, literally going out with a bang. Well, the silver lining for the old gold is that they're still in this tie. Liverpool lead 1-0. The second half to come live on Talk Sports.
Kick-off on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. La creme de la creme. The bee's knees. Off the heezy for sheezy. When you need a job doing brilliantly, that's a job for the Trusted Trader professionals. Pop in your postcode and what you need, and you'll find reputable and reliable local tradespeople, all who've passed the Trusted Trader 15-point assessment, ensuring that they and their work are top drawer. Find the Trusted Trader professionals at Car Finance 24/7. We believe life's better done right. Our manager confirms the team after the final whistle. Shorts and then the lucky pats. We don't think so. At Car Finance 24/7, we do things the right way. We'll find you the very best deal from our panel of lenders. And with the money stuff sorted, you can focus on the fun bit, choosing a car and driving it home. Car Finance 24/7. We're in your corner. Get a quote today at carfinance247.co.uk. Representative APR 19.9%. Car Finance 24/7 is a credit broker, not a lender. Buy a used car from Arnold Clark and get an extra £500 on top of your part exchange. We'll even give you 2 years servicing for free. That's what we call the real deal. Choose from 20,000 cars and collect at your nearest store. The real deal is on right now at Arnold Clark. Build your own deal and see our terms and conditions at arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to the Rosie Hotel.
Hello. We're a little early, but thought we might take a dip in the pool before we check in.
Of course. Sorry, Mrs. Cook, but it looks like your stay isn't for another 5 months.
Yes, that's right.
Like getting your money's worth? Enjoy a fresh prepared cheeseburger. Just £1.19. Pass for the McDonald's Saver menu. From 11 a.m, price of participation may vary.
Does this sound make you think of gambling? Then it might be time to quit.
Talk Ban Stop can help. Speak to a GamCare advisor, learn about self-excluding from gambling sites with GamStop, and get a free GamBan license to help block your devices from gambling sites. Layered together, we have helped over 10,000 people quit gambling, and we can help you too. Call the National Gambling Helpline on 0808 8020 133 or visit talkbanstop.com.
FA Cup live on Talk Sport with Charlie, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Don't miss a second of the FA Cup. FA Cup kickoff.
Big night of FA Cup ties, and we're round the grounds on Talk Sport. Half time here, Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. Second half to come, live commentary with Sam Matchface and Matt Murray. Let's get half-time at the Swansea.com stadium with TalkSport's Lawrence Mora.
Bristol City 0, Swansea 0 at the break, and not again long in the memory, quite frankly. Swans with more than 65% possession and one shot on target. That shot flew off the shin of Bristol City defender Zach Viner, who was trying to hack the ball clear, and was relieved to see his own keeper Max O'Leary leap to his left, pluck the ball out of the sky as it was looping towards goal. At the other end, Bristol City strikers had a single shot on or off target. These teams have played out 2 draws this season, so we could be in for a long night at the fairly sparse crowd here at the Swansea.com stadium. At the break, Swansea 0, Bristol City 0.
What's happened in the first half of the DW Stadium in the FA Cup? Matt Jones.
Yeah, not a classic here either. It's Wigan 0, Luton 0 at the break, and not too much action to keep those fans who have made the trip to the DW Stadium warm so far. The bulk of the chances have fallen to Luton though, and they probably should have been ahead as early as the 2nd minute when Woodrow got into the box and lifted the ball over the bar via a deflection. After that, Adebayo had a shot saved. It was a fairly tame header though, and there hasn't been a shot on target since then, and that was the 11th minute. Woodrow managing to put wide of the bar with his header. Bree with a free kick that went well off target from 25 yards. And at the other end, Wigan had one shot and one shot only, and that was Asgard, who couldn't get his low effort from 20 yards on target. Extra time looms unless the finishing is better. At the break, it's Wigan 0, Luton 0.
The two sides at the new lawn separated by absolute worldie. Ian Danter.
Yes, half-time, Forest Green Rovers 1, Birmingham City 0. Forest Green 45 minutes away from their first ever 4th round tie, and they're on track for round 4 thanks to Stevenson's rocket. Ben Stevenson launched an absolutely fantastic 25-yard shot when he was given the opportunity to shoot after a corner had only been half cleared, and it beat Neil Etheridge. All ends up, that was in the 6th minute of the game. Also, Etheridge had to be very sharp to deny Miles Peart-Harris on loan from Brentford in the 20th minute with a sharp shot on the turn. That was tipped over for a corner that came to nothing. And Forest Green fully deserve their 1-0 lead at the break. They've been first to most things, particularly in midfield. Birmingham looks staggeringly inept. No wonder they've lost 4 on the spin, playing the way they are at the moment. Lots of work for John Eustace to do in the changing room with his players at half-time. But Ian Birchnell will be delighted. The shock is on at the break. Forest Green 1, Birmingham City 0.
Remember, Forest Green bottom of League One, Birmingham in the Championship. Ben Stephen, ex-Wolves, former Wolves young, with an absolutely brilliant goal. Still playing in the first half for the Hawthorns, so what's going on there, Jeff Peters?
Yeah, 5 minutes to the break. It's West Brom 1, Chesterfield 0. No repeats so far of the absolute had in the first game between the sides. West Brom went ahead midway in the half. Soft from the visitors really. Liverpool headed forward. John Swift inside the area, right side, called a lovely effort, left-footed into the bottom corner. His 4th of the season. They came close to a second when Swift played a delightful through ball which Grady Diangana poked goalwards, but the on-rushing Lucas Covolan on loan from Port Vale made the block. No real moments of magic from the non-leaguers as yet. It's West Brom 1, Chesterfield.
Steve Ball on the pitch, a Wolves legend, over 300 goals in just over 560 appearances for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And what they wouldn't give for a prolific striker like that these days, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes. Right, let's discuss this one here. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. Alex and Patsy, what do you make of this so far?
Yeah, I mean, Wolves aren't completely out of this, are they? I mean, the scoreline certainly was yes, so they are 12-1 to win in 90 minutes, and understandably so, but you wouldn't back against them finding a goal. You're completely right. If only they had a Steve Ball. And even at his age now, even those players isn't even back to find the net if he was on the bench. But 134 draw at 90 minutes, the Wolves at 9-2 to qualify. Liverpool 3-10 as things stand for the win. One thing they don't do at the moment is keep clean sheets. I think they've conceded in their last 7 games across all comps. If there is still reason to be cheerful for a Wolves fan, surely that's it. Both teams to score is a 4-5 shot, and that's purely because of Liverpool's horrendous defensive record of late. But that being said, Wolves aren't exactly serial goal scorers themselves, are they? We mentioned both managers have made a lot of changes to the starting lineups, and you're looking on the bench and wondering who might come on and make a difference for the hosts here. Diego Costa maybe ex-Chelsea, and Liverpool and Klopp no doubt will have an eye on that massive game at Chelsea against Chelsea at the weekend. I imagine Klopp will want to avoid bringing any key players on in this half. Harvey Elliott with the only goal of the game so far. Was it a great strike or was it bad goalkeeping? Somewhere in between. He's 14 to 1 to get the next goal of the game. I do fancy the hosts to get on the score sheet, but I fancy Liverpool to win this. 11 to 2 says they win the game 2-1. I'll take that.
Alex, thank you very much. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
So over the next 2 nights on the TalkSport network, we've got 3 huge commentaries. Tomorrow, it's Crystal Palace against Manchester United in the Premier League on TalkSport, while Leeds against Cardiff, live on TalkSport 2 in the FA Cup third round. That's a replay. Then on Thursday, Tottenham travel to Manchester City in the Premier League, with both sides still smarting from derby defeats of the weekend. The future of Spurs boss Antonio Conte is coming to question again in recent weeks, and today when asked about the club's long-term strategy, he seemingly questioned why his higher-ups, Daniel Levy and Fabio Paratici, don't speak to the media more before or after matches. Listen to this.
In England, I think there is a bad habit that there is only the coach to speak and to explain. I have never seen the medical department to come here to explain why this player is having difficulty to recover. It's the same also. I have seen the club sporting director to come here to explain the strategy, the vision of the club. It's in England, because in Italy, for example, every game before the game, there is a person at the club that go to the media and then has to answer any question. I think that for us could be really better, because otherwise we put every time our face on it. There is only one face to explain the situation that I think maybe is better also the club here to explain.
Wow, that sounds like the worst deflection I've ever heard. Matt Murray, what's he talking about?
Yeah, I've never heard that before either, but at the end of the day, in England, that's not really what they do, so at the end of the day, it feels like a little bit of a deflection maybe, or a strategy to get some reaction, but I've never heard a manager say that.
So I think Spurs want answers to different questions than that from Antonio Conte. Elsewhere, National League tonight, Altrincham 2, Maidenhead 2, Aldershot 2 for Solihull Moors. These half times, the games postponed. National League North, AFC Fylde 0, Buxton 0, Telford 1, Kettering 1. The rest were postponed tonight. In National League South, Ebbsfleet 1, Chelmsford 0, Farnborough 0, Slough 0. The rest postponed. In the FA Trophy, 4th round, Torquay were 2 on Taunton. It is now 2-2. Don't forget, British billionaires Jim Ratcliffe's company Ineos have formally and officially put themselves into the process to buy Manchester United Football Club. He's from Manchester United fan. There'll be more on that on Breakfast with Laura and Ali from 6 tomorrow. Gabby will join them at 8. And more on why Jordan will get the insight from former Premier League chairman Simon Jordan tomorrow from 10 on TalkSport. Teams are out. We're ready for the second half. Wolves got work to do. Liverpool lead by a goal to 0. Here's second half on TalkSport with Matt Murray and Sam Matchface.
And 2 changes at the start of the second half for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who trailed by a goal to 0. And Matthias Nunez and Nelson Semedo coming on. And I think it's going to be Hodge and Lembakisa who are coming off. We haven't got confirmation of that now. I think we're about to get it. Lembakisa and Hodge coming off, and Semedo and Nunez coming on. How will that change things?
Well, very experienced players. Won't change the system, but you think with Semedo he's going to get forward a little bit more, and I thought Lembekisa did fine. Potentially there's, top player linked to Liverpool. Yeah. So heavily, actually, very, very heavily. So he'll give that creativity. He'll get forward and hopefully just a bit more control in that midfield. I think. And just that, I think Joe Hodge again, he did fine, but he's a young man again in a difficult situation. So yeah, two more senior players, if you like.
Yeah, two more senior players as we get off and underway at the start of the second half. Half-time at West Brom, and it's still 1-0 to the home side there. And here at Molineux, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. And Liverpool have the ball, shooting from left to right in red shirts, red shorts, and red socks. At the start of this second half, and old gold shirts, black shorts, and old gold socks for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are attacking the goal away to our left in the second half. And before last week's game, Liverpool had won the previous 7 meetings against Wolves. The last Wolves victory came in the FA Cup. Raul Jimenez and Ruben Neves with the goals back in January 2019. Daniel Sturridge played for Liverpool that night. Whatever happened to him? Wolves also beat Liverpool in the FA Cup at Anfield in 2017 with goals from Richard Stearman and Andreas Weimann. Another match that was live on TalkSport. They're a championship team there, led by Paul Lambert. But if they are to turn this one around, they need goals, and that means bodies in the box, Matt Murray, and that's something they didn't do in the first half. When they got their chances, usually whoever was on the ball charging into the area was on their own.
Yeah, there was a time, wasn't there, where Raul Jimenez got the ball and he crossed it, but there was no one at the back post to tap it in. And then other times when Nori got forward, he had to go alone, and then that block shot ended up with the Liverpool goal. Another time when Troy went in, difficult angle. So yeah, definitely getting more bodies forward would be something that Lopetegui would want.
And Lopetegui, who is still animated on the touchline. He's not the only thing to blow a fuse tonight at Molineux, but he certainly got very angry in that first 45 minutes about some of the decisions that went against him, and he will want a little bit more productivity from his team in this second half going forward. Away to our left, the ball is with Johnny, who's back at left back again. Out wide it goes via Collins to Semedo on the right this time. Then Traore back to Semedo. Semedo actually had a really good game on Saturday against West Ham United, didn't he? Probably one of his better performances for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's on the second half to try and influence proceedings. Johnny Otto once again. I'll go for the 2 lineups for you in just a second as Totti comes forward, plays it infield to Ruben Neves, and then he in turn on to Collins, who slips it down the right. Semedo being watched by Carvalho, who adds a little bit of extra zest to the Liverpool team. They've been accused of lacking a bit of intensity, but he and Elliott certainly have brought a bit of that tonight. There has been a goal in the game at the DW Stadium. Wigan Luton, Matt Jones.
And it's an absolute stunner. Wigan 1, Luton 0. A Max Power long throw into the box isn't properly cleared. It falls to Thelo Asgard about 12 yards out, and he thumps it with a volley into the top corner. 46 minutes gone. It's Wigan 1, Luton 0.
Wolverhampton Wanderers scored 3 minutes after half-time on Saturday. In fact, 3 of their last 4 goals have come after the break, so that could give them a little bit of encouragement as they bring the ball up towards the halfway line. They've got Jose Sarr in goal, back 4 now of Semedo, Collins, Totti and Johnny Otto in midfield. It's Matthias Nunes, Neves and João Moutinho up front. Ryan Aït-Nouri on the left, Traore on the right. He's been booked already, and Raul Jimenez through the middle. Liverpool have Caoimhin Kelleher in goal. Loads of changes from the weekend game. Milner, Gomez, Canate and Tsimikas. Then Keita, Bajcetic and Thiago in midfield, Harvey Elliott, Cody Gakpo and Carvalho up front, just in front of the centre circle. Matthias Nunes of Portugal and Wolverhampton Wanderers has the ball. He plays it square into Totti, gets it back via Johnny Otto, then progresses forward, tries to bounce past Bajcetic, who dispossesses him, and then Thiago tries to nudge it through to Cody Gakpo, who's found from behind by Totti. It's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line.
Yeah, and again, Wolves got into areas you just felt good defending from Liverpool, but could that little pass, just a bit more caretaken, and a good press from Liverpool, they win it. But they are very compact, very organised, and you mentioned Caoimhin Kelleher. He hasn't really been tested. He's not had a shot to save, and Wolves do need to create more. But it's just those final balls are just not just having, getting that detail and finding those passes.
Yeah. In 20 years that they've been on, this would be only the second occasion in 20 years, should they achieve it, that they've been beyond round 5. And Liverpool themselves haven't really got the best FA Cup record under Jurgen Klopp. They were holders last year, but certainly not a team that regularly gets to the stages of this competition. Both these two teams often go out in the first couple of rounds of it. This is a third round replay with a chance to play Brighton in the fourth round, and then you never know after that, anything can happen. Free kick away to our left-hand side, taken by Aït-Nouri. In front of that two-tiered huge stand in front of Kelleher's goal. It's squeezed in towards the 6-yard box, comes out on the far side. Neves tries to recycle it, bounces up, hits the defender, claims of handball. Referee says no, and it's cleared away by Carvalho, who's twirling out on the far side. The left, Tsimikas thinks he was out on the far side, goes down, free kick's eventually given. Now the linesman who's standing right over him didn't give the free kick. The referee 25 yards ago away does give the free kick.
And now he's going down like he's been shot. I think maybe he took a little knee in the lower back. But yeah, very, very interesting, as you say, because the assistant's there, he's not giving anything, just like a fair press to me. But again, that's going to relieve the pressure now for Liverpool. And looking at that handball claim, I think it's hit him in his shoulder quite high up. I'm not sure what you think.
No, I don't think Naby Keita touches that with his hand. It's certainly the top of the arm, isn't it? Big hit on the top of the shoulder. Nothing more than that. Certainly no VAR intervention. Off to screen, Ian Danta.
Forest Green 1, Birmingham City 1. It only took the visitors 4 minutes after the restart to get level. Lukas Jurkovic tucking the ball away low into the bottom corner for one of 3 changes that John Eustace made at half-time. Tahith Chong won the ball in midfield and slipped in Jurkovic, who scored from the edge of the area. Forest Green 1, Birmingham 1.
And another goal of the DW for TalkSport's Matt Jones.
Yeah, suddenly a football match has broken out here. It's Wigan 1, Luton 1. Corley Woodrow with the equaliser. Initial shot from him was really well saved by Ben Amos, but he could only bundle the ball back out to Woodrow, who fired the rebound home, just about crept over the line with the goal line technology giving it. So 51 minutes gone and Luton are level. Wigan 1, Luton 1.
Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much. Yes, back here at Molineux, we've just seen a rather interesting effort from Naby Keita. He picked the ball up, charged forward into the midpoint of the Wolves half, then shot very poorly. It was I would try and describe it as a daisy cutter, but it was an offence to daisy cutters. It was that bad.
Yeah, an absolute worm burner, as we used to call them. But it was miles wide, and he had decent options, didn't he? You know, when you're driving like that, pick a better option. But from a Wolves hat, I was happy to see that.
Here's Johnny coming forward into the path of João Moutinho, out wide to the left. It's Ryan Aït-Nouri trying to take on Milner, who's been brilliant again tonight, by the way, or given away by Harvey Elliott, picked up by Johnny. Actually, I think that's probably more Konate who was guilty there, as Aït-Nouri sends a cross into the centre, and despite the presence of Jimenez, Queller has to get in front of the Mexican and grab it at his feet and clear it away. It remains 1-0 to Liverpool, and then there's a back pass from Joe Gomez, which Kelleher had to deal with. Then there's a collision between Totti and Elliott, which was a bit fierce on halfway. It goes out for a throw-in, but Liverpool don't want to give anything away to Wolverhampton Wanderers, or any encouragement that if they press them high, they might win the ball back.
You think, though, you said it there, James Milner, he's, you know, how many years has Aït-Nouri got on Milner? But Milner's been top class. He's never got rammed once. He's used his experience, he's won the balls, he's not given free kicks away. Then when Wolves did, though, win the ball back, only one body in the box in the middle again, wasn't it? No midfielders joining in and making
That's been a problem, I think, really, when they've got the ball into a decent area. The midfielders haven't joined up, which has caused a lack of presence, a lack of uncertainty, because if you've got more bodies in the box, more defenders are distracted, more errors can happen. There's a greater chance of you converting an opportunity. That hasn't happened tonight for Wolves, and they haven't looked threatening enough in this game. We've played 55 minutes. It's been a problem all season. I think that's no secret to anybody who's followed the Premier League over the course of the campaign. They're the lowest scorers in that division for a reason. 12 Premier League goals all season is not anything that's going to trouble too many, and half of those have come since the introduction of Julian Lopetegui, so they're obviously
obviously is a more productive output, and the signing of Pablo Sarabia is another one of those that is trying to increase it. Ball loose on halfway, won by Wolves, given away by Ait Nouri, and Thiago's always moving in the centre of the park, wins it back, plays it infield, given to Elliott, back to Thiago again, who keeps progressing forward. A little ball down the right side for Cody Gakpo, but Collins had followed him out from centre half into the right wing position and tucked it away for a throw on this near side.
Yeah, good defending from Nathan Collins there, and Gakpo again, he'll be desperate for another chance. He had a couple of glimpses, didn't he, in the first half.
What have you made of his overall performance, Cody Gakpo? He's a very expensive acquisition, really. I mean, 50 million quid all told.
Yeah, all in all, he he's got in positions. He's not had loads and loads of service, but I think he works hard. He's a lovely, obviously we saw him in the World Cup, he's a lovely build, isn't he? I mean, he looks really, what is he there? He looks about 6'3", is that right? Yeah. He looks tall, he looks lean, working hard, he's disciplined, holding the shape, but again, hasn't had loads and loads of service.
Handball is the accusation as Mo Salah warms up down in front of us. Keita into Fabio Carvalho, trying to turn it around the corner, away by Adama Traore, and it's cleared upfield towards the halfway line where it's collected by Liverpool centre half Joe Gomez, who rolls his studs over the ball and goes back to his goalkeeper. Mo Salah getting ready for action, primed for an appearance in the FA Cup once again. Ball kicked upfield. That's a poor challenge in midfield by Bajcetic, and it's Matthias Nunes who's on the wrong end of it. He's screaming at the referee as Fabio Carvalho travels forward with the ball down the left channel into the path of Tsimikas. Back to the left it goes, further into the path of Thiago. Now in the midpoint of the Wolves half is Keita up to Carvalho, into Cody Gakpo, Elliott, Liverpool building nicely here, Milner into the box, it's a deep ball towards the far post, headed away by Collins, comes back out of the area, and then it falls to Matthias Nunes, who wins it really well, and Jimenez tries to drag them up the pitch. That's a late challenge by Thiago, that's going to be a goal. Don't join in with the crowd. You're on commentary duty.
No, I'm laughing with the cheers because surely that was always going to be a yellow, but it was a cynical one from Thiago there. But what was the difference was there? Wolves are trying to stay compact, but having the ball. But they had 4 red shirts still in the box. But that's the tackles maybe they talk about when Wolves go to break. And Liverpool there had just stopped it at source. Brought the Wolves player down, yellow card for sure, and but the counter-attack stopped.
Yeah, the Mane one. Here is Traore over on the right side, into the edge of the box. It comes through to Matinho, back to Neves. Neves swings the ball out towards the left-hand side. Wolves on the attack here with Ait Nouri. Back to the edge of the area, collected by Johnny. Johnny across to Neves once again, who slips it further square onto Collins, who's joined the attack. The right side is Nelson Semedo. They're probing here, Wolves. Ball into the box, takes a deflection, goes down the left side of the box, and it's cleared well by Tsimikas, and he finds Thiago, who brilliantly and elegantly drags them further up the pitch, but Matthias Nunes is there, just snapping at the heels of Keita and others and trying to win it back. The ball's still with Liverpool though. They go up to halfway. Ait Nouri runs into the back of Elliott. I don't think Ait Nouri really could have done much else there because Elliott stopped, came back in field, and he just run across the path of Ait Nouri, and the two collided. It was a coming together more than anything else.
Yeah, it was, and clever play from Elliott just to win he's won the free kick, he's bought it there. Feels say Ait Nouri will think, what could I really do, as you say. And he looks like he's even put his left leg into him, but I think Elliott's had the real moment of quality with the goal, but Liverpool are just pushing, aren't they?
Medium really, 4 separate stands. The wind as a result can howl through the big gaps in all 4 corners, but it's a very well appointed stadium, and they've certainly given it a lick of paint and an upgrade over the last few years since coming back into the Premier League. Here is
to be involved in. You would imagine that centre half alongside Canati Gomez moved to the right back position, so that position that Joe Gomez knows very well. That isn't a problem for him.
Right. So it's just his 5th appearance of the season.
Wolves in the first game. That's the case in this game as well. 24 minutes and he left. Plenty of time for them to get back into it.
Ma pure Colga no, dopo che